Hello everybody, this is Stuart Knight, author of the books Marginalizing White Supremacy, Poetic Visions, A Steep Mister for a System, and my latest work, A Spirit the World Has Forgotten. And today I want to speak on the practice that many black people have of being ultra critical and being wary, for lack of a better word, of black people who try to actually bring a little bit of light to them in the form of, African history or the understanding of white supremacy. And it's okay to be a little bit skeptical, because in fact there are many black people who try to put out information simply for their information about the plight and condition of black people simply for profit, and that is it. Not to really uplift the soul or to change the condition of the people under which we live. There are many who out there who actually do those type of things. But there have been so many black giants who have given their lives to the study of African history and philosophy that died broke, simply because of black people's incessant mistrust of each other. An incessant mistrust born from the thinking of white supremacy. I seen a post the other day that, kind of mentioned me in a sense, stating that, people nowadays are getting woke and it's a fad, and many people out there are just, trying to get in on this just to earn a buck and make a profit, just to make some money. And the sad thing about that is that ideal has been around since black people have been trying to wake each other up. You see, that's how effective white supremacy has been. Because it has even made black people believe that the only information that is valuable information to them has to come from white people. And that's the crazy part about it, because many of these white supremacists will go out there, learn African history, repeat some of the things that they have learned from black people to black people, and black people will uplift them and support them and make them millionaires. And like I said, many of the black giants, the black titans, who've been in the game for 30, 40 years trying to wake black people up, died broke. And that's sad. That is really sad. That shows you just how deeply most black people have been conditioned to support white supremacy and that they don't even know it. So there are, like I said before, there are some people who are charlatans within the so-called conscious community. But there are far more people who really put their heart into the game, who really want to see the conditions of black people change, so that for once, maybe in a generation or in a lifetime, black people can know what true unity is really all about. And unity is not holding hands, swaying together singing, "We have overcame." Unity is like consciousness, meaning that within the white supremacist system, you understand that you are black, and you have a duty to stand up and learn as much as you can about yourself for those ancestors who died before you, trying to make sure that you live. That's why you must understand black consciousness. That's why you must understand more about yourself to know who you truly are, so that you won't be victimized by white supremacy. In case in point, within this same post, there was the person mentioned that, there are white people who can tell me more about history than black people can tell me about history. Well, right there, that says that, you really take value in what white people tell you, without actually realizing that in many instances they're doing so just to make a fool out of you. And case in point, I'm gonna share a little story that happened to me last year, as a matter of fact, while I was at work. See, many black people don't understand the nature of white supremacy is that individual white people sometimes garner a sense of authority just from making a fool out of you in the workplace. And like I was saying, case in point, I was on this job and I was working, and the foreman called me up and asked me, hey, why don't you grab this shovel out the back of my truck and bring it to me? So my first thinking, I didn't like this cat anyway, because I'd already recognized he's a white supremacist. So the first thing I was thinking, like, fuck this motherfucker. I ain't about to go get shit for this motherfucker. He's full of shit like I'm his goddamn servant boy. But I said, no. There might be another, ulterior motive plan to this. So I went ahead, I went to the truck, and I got the shovel, and I brought it to him, so here you go. And I went back on to doing what I was doing, and after he got done, he placed the shovel back in the road. Like I was supposed to pick it up and take it back and put it back in his truck. But I looked at that goddamn shovel, and I looked at it and drove right on by and kept going. Well, the next morning, when I got to work, that shovel had been thrown 50 feet from where it was originally. Meaning that he picked that shovel up and threw it mad because I didn't stop and pick it up on my own volition and put it back in his truck like a good lap dog. No, I didn't do that. So I picked the shovel up, leaned it up against my truck. When his buddy came, the other foreman, I said to him, your partner left the shovel in the road last night. If he don't want it, I'll keep it. There's damn sure something I can do with it. And I walked off and got on my machine. And that foreman took that shovel off my truck and put it in his truck. So what I'm saying to you is, in many instances, individual whites practice white supremacy by trying to make a fool out of you. So it's not really a good idea to listen to anything they got to say concerning black history. Because most of the time in the end, they gonna sit there and be like, look at this. I can really fool this nigga and make him think I really care about him. Always bet on black. Support your own first. Because like I said, it's a crying shame that so many black giants in the game died broke because black people are too goddamn subjugated by white supremacy to be able to support their own. Once again, this is Stuart Knight, author of the books Marginalizing White Supremacy, Poetic Visions, A Sleek Mister for a Sister, and my latest work, The Spirit the World Has Forgotten. Peace.